Yo, what's up everybody? This is Junior Chicken here with another PokeVlogX. Got 73 hours and 26 minutes into Pokemon X, 2 more gym badges, and I thwarted Team Flare once again. I interfered at least in one of their evil plans. And of course I got a whole bunch more Pokemon as well. That seems to be the trend with most of my PokeVlogs now. I just haven't released a lot of PokeVlogs because I've been pretty busy at university, but I do take the bus to university, so I've been playing this game quite a lot, which means I have fewer PokeVlogs, but every time I have one I make a lot of progress. Continuing where I left off, I continued training on Route 13, the Lumiose Badlands, and I was able to get Hyper Yoshi to evolve into Shelgon, but Ratchet was still a Axew. It didn't quite get to that level where it became Fracture, but I kept it on my team anyways, and I continued on to the Lumiose City Gym with my Dragon and Ground team. The Lumiose City Gym is pretty creative. It's basically like a game show hosted by Clement's sister. You're asked a question, you answer it by going to the door that corresponds to the answer that you want to use, then you face the trainer in front of that door, you go into the door, and if the answer's right, you go to the next level. The questions are pretty easy. It's just like, guess the silhouette of this Pokemon, and I was able to get all the answers right and make it to Clement. Clement had a Magneton, an Emolga, and a Heliolisk. And even though Ratchet and Guardianite were a bit of pushovers and got knocked out, I was able to pull through and beat Clement. He gave me the Voltage badge and the TM for Charge Beam, which is the same TM that I got from beating the Electric Gym Leader in Pokemon Platinum, which is interesting. I was also able to get Badass to evolve from a Krokorok to Crocodile. After clearing the Lumiose City Gym, I was told to meet up with Sycamore and Lysander in the Lysander Cafe, which is painted entirely red. Yeah, that's gonna foreshadow something in the future. Yeah, we were talking and Lysander went on this kind of rant or something. I don't quite remember what it was. And Sycamore was like, he's not 100% right. Sycamore, if you only knew. After meeting up with Sycamore, I met up with Trevor and Serena in Route 14. I seem to be that guy that just seems to beat everyone at everything. I beat Trevor in the Pokedex. Apparently I have more Mountain Kalos Pokemon than he does in his Pokedex. I once again faced Serena and beat her once again. This time all I needed was Badass to sweep through her entire team. I just gave him an X attack, and with his Moxie ability and awesome attacks, which were Dig and Crunch, I was able to sweep through her Delphox, Absol, and female Meowstic. Yeah, I know they're dark and psychic types, but still, that Moxie ability, high attacks, awesome attacks. I continued to type focus after the Lumiose City Gym. I focused this time on a team that was strong against fairy types. So basically poison and steel types. But those are pretty rare, so they were tough to come across. Thankfully, I was able to make a team of 6, both my Nidorans, Hunter and Protector, as well as Thirsty, my Croagunk for poison types. For steel types, I have Highlander, my Honedge, and my Lucario's Fistman and Aura Woman, even though they don't have any steel stabs yet. I also trained a bit with Blue Menace because it's a fire type, and fire types are strong against fairy attacks. I kept going down Route 14, which is apparently like a swamp, these marsh areas where you could face Pokemon, or you could face them in the regular tall grass areas. And I was able to catch about 4 Pokemon from there. I caught a Carablast and a Shelmet, which is kind of surprising to me because I thought they would be version exclusives, but apparently you can get both on both games, so yeah, I got both of them. I named my Shelmet No Hands, and I named my Carablast Armor Thief. I also was able to catch a Skorupi, who I named Infector, and I caught a Weeping Bell and named it Dissolver. Yeah, I was running a bit dry on names, so while training on Route 14, I was able to get both my Nidorans, Hunter and Protector, to become Nidorino and Nidorina. I do have a Moonstone, but I only have one, and I don't want to choose which one gets the Moonstone. I want to be able to give a Moonstone to both of them so they both can evolve into Nidoqueen and Nidoking. So I kept them as their second form for the gym, which may have been a bit of a mistake. They're not very strong. I was also able to get Thirsty to evolve from a Croagunk to a Toxicroak. I also had Infector and Dissolver on my teams for a bit, since they were also poison types. I also had Blue Menace on my team for a bit, and I trained enough with him that he evolved into Charizard. Now I can Mega Evolve him into Mega Charizard X as a Fire Dragon type. While I was training in the Battle Chateau, I was able to get Highlander to evolve from Honedge to Doublade. Then I made it to Lavier City, but I still trained on Route 14 until I felt my Pokemon were at a high enough level so that they could go into the Lavier City gym. Route 14 was the first place where I got to experiment with Mega Evolution. I got 2 Lucarios, Fistman and Arwoman, and I've got my Kanto starter, Blue Menace. And I got to train with those guys and experience how good they were with the Mega Evolutions. Once I trained my Pokemon a bit more and got them to about level 40 this time, I went to the Lavier City Gym, which is basically just like a little dollhouse. You know, like those Barbie houses or something. Teleport to different rooms and you face certain trainers in each room until you reach the final room where you get to face Valerie. Valerie had a Mr. Mime, a Mawile, and a Sylveon. And it was a bit of a struggle too because she took out both my Nidorans, but I still was able to come through victorious. She gave me the Fairy Badge and the TM for Dazzling Gleam. After clearing through the gym, I met up with Shauna and Trevor again, and we decided to tour the Pokeball Factory. And of course, Team Flare is causing trouble once again. So me and Serena go into Pokeball Factory to face off against Team Flare. And so I just went through and once again plowed through all of the evil Team Flare grunts and make it to the top level where I had to face off against a Team Flare admin, the 2 of the Team Flare researchers who I don't even remember their names. Basically Team Flare was trying to steal all the Pokeballs for themselves. I want to like punch them in the face right now, but like thankfully Serena was able to help me out when facing off against the 2 researchers, and of course we were able to beat them. The CEO or the manager or whoever it was rewarded us with a choice between a Master Ball and a Gold Nugget. I was actually pretty surprised because that's pretty early for a Master Ball to show up. But of course I took the Master Ball. I haven't used it yet, but I'm probably going to save it for some legendary Pokemon. After exiting the Pokeball Factory, I got some sort of news report from Melva saying that, oh, an unknown group broke into the Pokeball Factory, but it shouldn't affect the sales of Pokeballs. I was pretty proud of Dissolver for helping me clear through the Lavier City Gym and helped me take out Team Flare at the Pokeball Factory, so I rewarded him with a Leaf Stone, and he evolved from a Weeping Bell to a Victory Bell, my favorite grass poison type. After clearing Lavier City, I type focused again to have a team that's strong against Psychic types, which is what I'm doing now. I'm type focusing on a team that's strong against Psychic types, but man, I got a lot of Bug, Ghost, and Dark type Pokemon. Like right now. I've accumulated so much over my journey because I guess they're a lot more common than Poison and Steel types. So my plan is to train all of my Bug, Ghost, and Dark type Pokemon, get them to about level 46, and then I'm going to pick the 6 that I like the most and take them to the Anastar City Gym to face off against Olympia. I haven't gotten to Anastar City yet because I'm still in Dendemil Town. I have yet to go to the Frost Cavern, so you might think it's a bit early for me to be type focusing with all these and trying to get them to level 46, but I guess I'm just preparing for the future, I guess. Moving on, I continued to Route 15 and trained a bit there, facing trainers and beating them, visiting the Lost Hotel, and going down to Route 16 that would return me to Lumino City. I did train a bit with Guardianite while on Route 15, and he eventually evolved into a Golurk, although it took a really long time for him to do so. I was also able to get Thugster to evolve into Scrafty while training on Route 15 using the EXP share. and he was pretty helpful. He was taking out quite a bit of Pokemon when I was training with him. I was also able to get Infector to evolve from a Skorupi to a Drapion. Now it's a dark poison type. I also encountered a horde battle with a bunch of Murkrows on Route 15. Eventually I was able to catch one of them, and I named her Ms. Runge. While Speed and Shell was a part of my party while I was training in Route 15, it eventually collected enough experience that it became a Ninjask and a Shedinja. I took them to the Name Raider and I renamed both my Ninjask and Shedinja. Shedinja I named Husk, and Ninjask I named Speedwoman. I was able to obtain the Super Rod from Fisher's house in Route 16, which is kind of odd. I got the Super Rod like after the end of the game in Pokemon Platinum, so I'm surprised I'm getting these really rare items really early, I guess. I was also able to catch a Floatzel with a netball and name it Otto 2. Once again, I have one in Pokemon Platinum named Otto. While training on Route 16, I was able to find a Phantom. I caught it with an Ultra Ball and named it Spook Tree. I also spent some time trading Pokemon so they would evolve. I was able to trade both No Hands and Armor Thief, and they became Excavalier and Excelvor. And I traded my Phantom, Spook Tree, and it evolved into Trevenant. I did explore the Lost Hotel a bit, but that was mainly to train up my Pokemon and find some particular items. I was able to catch, though, a Magneton, and I named it Hovering, with a plus and minus sign. I was also lucky enough to find a Rotom in one of the garbage bins, and it was one tough sucker to catch. I remember I just used a Great Ball in Pokemon Platinum and I was able to catch it, but this time I had to use a Timer Ball, and I was able to catch it, and I named it Hyperpliance. I have made it to Dendemil Town. I haven't visited the Frost Cavern yet because I'm still training my Pokemon a bit. I've been type focusing a lot. I'm trying to get my Pokemon to about level 46, then I'll probably go to the Frost Cavern. I've also been spending quite a bit of time at the Battle Chateau because not only is it a great way to gain experience for your Pokemon because all you do is have trainer battles there which give you more experience, but you can get a lot of cash stacked up with the Amulet Coin. I guess there's a lot of aristocrats at the Battle Chateau, and if you face them, they're going to give you a lot of money for beating them. I'm a Marquis, which is pretty impressive, which means I can face off against certain gym leaders. And I believe I faced off against Karina and Clement, and I was able to beat both of them. The battles are pretty easy though, like only like 1 or 2 Pokemon for each trainer, and if you have the right type advantage, they're easy to take down. And most exciting, I caught myself a shiny Pumpkaboo. A shiny Pumpkaboo! I just encountered it randomly when I was training, and I freaked out when I saw it. I caught it with a quick ball because I knew if I damaged it, I could possibly kill it. I named it Perpkin. He's got that docile nature, just like my shiny Gengar that I got from the distribution, but like, I'm just such more proud of this Perpkin just because I like caught it in the wild rather than got through a distribution. You won't see me playing with it during the game, but eventually when I start being competitive in this Pokemon game, you'll probably see Perpkin in one of my battles, I guess. You're just gonna have to wait and see. So I'm still berry farming, I'm still training on the routes that are nearby the town that I currently am at, and once in a while going to the Battle Chateau to train my Pokemon up there. My plan here is to train all my Bug, Ghost, and Dark-type Pokemon up to level 46, then go to the Frost Cavern, clear that, get to Anastar City, and, continue my journey from there. So right now, my team is mostly Bug, but I do have one Dark type. So I got Armor Thief and No Hands, they're both at level 37. Husk, my Shedinja, is at level 35. Speedwoman is at level 34, though. She hasn't battled as much as Husk, I guess. My Pinsir, tough as heck, is at level 43. Ms. Runge, that Murkrow that I caught, is at level 36. So that's it for today's PokeVlog. Next up is my countdown of the top 10 songs of 2014, so I hope you're looking forward to that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.
Get jazzy on